Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and it's nothing like a Sunday afternoon when you can hop in an aircraft with friends and fly anywhere you want. Well, maybe not anywhere you want, but at least take to the friendly skies and just do some sightseeing, which is exactly what I'm doing today in the Diamond DA42NG, which is modeled by Aerobask. Now, I like this aircraft. It's a GA aircraft, twin engine, and it is native to X-Plane 12. A lot of aircraft that run in X-Plane 12 are what's called, quote, X-Plane 12 compatible, unquote. But this is X-Plane 12 native, and there is some distinction between the two. Um, and I'm not going to get into what those distinctions really are, but if you're interested, then leave me a comment and we'll explore it. Anyway, so we at Santa Ynez and we are going to take off with no real destination in mind. Just a bunch of friends, and we might decide once we get airborne exactly where we're going to go. So let's get this party started. All right, so yeah, first thing I want to do is turn the fuel on and bring those down to make sure the fuel doesn't turn off in mid-flight. Make sure the brake is set, which it is. And at this point, we can turn on our AV electric master, which is our battery, and let the primary flight display boot up. And that shouldn't take but a sec here. There we go. All right. And kill that caution there. All right. So we've got that booted up and just kind of look over things, make sure everything, don't see anything that's too out of whack at all. Everything looks fine. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and test our gear. Make sure that if it's not working, that we get a some sort of annunciator. And this aircraft is extremely easy to start. It's almost like starting your car, and it's probably a little unrealistic in as much as I can just turn the master on and give it a pop, and boom, she starts up. Now I don't know if that's actually, maybe it starts like that in the real world. If you're familiar with the DA42NG and you know better, then let me know in the comments. All right, so but for the sake of immersion here, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that fuel boost pump on. Look at my CAS and fuel pressure. Left fuel pressure. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that key. And shame on me, I didn't look to make sure nobody was out there. Of course, in real life, it doesn't take but a turn of the head to just kind of look around. All right, so we're gonna do the left one, and all right, clip up. Make sure we should have did that. Always do that, and whenever you got an opportunity. But yeah, all right, so let's get that left engine started. Turn that pump off, turn that one on, and let's see what happens if we turn the master on. It's like starting a car. And that's all there is to it. Check the oil pressure. Oil pressure is up on both. And I can go ahead and turn on my alternator. And yep, so turn on my AV master, my avionics, and go ahead and turn that fuel pump off. I don't think I need it. And check my fuel levels. Okay. Fuel quantity is looking pretty good. And fuel or temperature is coming up on both engines. Good deal. All right. And while we edit here, it's probably not a bad time to. There was something that I was going to test. Shucks, what was it? It slipped away. Anyway, yeah, so flaps are up, all right, and just kind of looking around, making sure everything looked the way I expect it to look, and so far it does. So yeah, I am happy, happy, happy. Up, I did it again. Didn't turn on any lights before I started it, which now this aircraft, as far as I know, does not have the traditional beacon light. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so we are pretty much ready. Give a passenger brief here. Okay, guys, I am going to listen to the ATIS and figure out which runway that I'm going to take off. Once I line up, then I give her full power. If something doesn't feel right, I will brake and try to stop on the runway. If I wind up getting airborne and we're below 1,000 feet, actually 1,200 feet, then I'll look for a place to put it down. If if I have a bird strike on both engines, otherwise we'll try to come in on one engine, and if I losing the engine after 1,200 feet, then we'll use the remaining engine to come in and do a full stop. Okay. Um, None of that should be concerning, just to let you guys know. But I kind of like to give you guys an idea of what to expect in the event of a engine outage. Most other in-flight emergencies would allow me to get the aircraft back in safely without without the risk of injury. Okay, so let's see. So I always like to turn my pitot heat on, and let's go ahead and turn our taxi light on and listen to that ATIS. All right, so the ATIS frequency for this airport should be still in the box. I believe it is.
More than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 13. Dew point 0. Altimeter
2999. Temperature 13. 350 at 8. I think he said 250. I just need to listen to it one more time. I was
weather observation. Santa Ynez, wind 160 degrees at 9 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 13.
now I'm getting 160 at Niner. Let that play one more time, because okay, so I think I'm listening to ATIS on two different frequencies. I mean, I'm picking up two different frequencies on the ATIS frequencies for two different airports, and they are vastly different. But we are at Inez, and we were told that they were 160 at Niner, so that's what we're going to use. And our runways are 24, and I think they were 24 and 6. So So let's zoom in on this guy here, see where we are. And let's look at our runway. 24 and 8, and winds were 160. So 24 minus 8 is 16. Okay, so it looks like we got pretty much a crosswind, no matter what the case is. So let's see. I tell you, I have to use my bad. Scratch that, guys. That's not what I wanted to show you. Let's see. That's what I want to show you. So winds of 160. And let's see, runways were, so yeah, we got a crosswind as such. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use runway. Trying to figure out which runway is gonna make the best sense. We're closer to 26 here, so we'll go ahead and use 26. All right. So that's my story, and I am sticking to it. Hey, backcountry flight simulation and Roger, how you guys doing? I am not flying on VATSIM. I was at one point flying on Pilot Edge, but yeah. And Roger asks, I'm being safe this time. Beef jerky, cheese, and I know, right? I know, right? Ain't no need of having the. Let's see, what did I spill on you last time? I don't remember what it was, but I know we made a mess of it. um, so, so yeah, I've got an aircraft full of friends, and I'm in the Diamond DA-42, which is native to X-plane, one of the only native GA aircraft that I know of. Most of them are X-plane compatible, but this one is actually native, and yeah, I look good, don't I? But yeah, there's no way to change the gender that I know of in this aircraft. So yeah. Um, so yeah, we are, and where are we flying to? Don't know. We're taking a Sunday joyride flight. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take off on what is it, 24 or 26? 26, I believe it was. Shucks, memory issues. Let's see. San Ynez has 26 and 08. All right. So yeah. So guys, do I sound all right? And can you hear the aircraft all right? All right. So we'll find that yellow brick road, and I see it. All right. I just need the scarecrow, the Tin Man, and we try to avoid the Wicked Witch of the East. is it the Wicked Witch of the East and the Good Witch of the West? I don't remember. Okay. Follow the yellow brick road. This aircraft does have front wheel steering, which is nice. One thing that you don't get in the Cirrus, and this is a complex aircraft. It does have retractable gear. All right. Put in approach flaps. Come here and do a quick little run up. I'm gonna turn this way just so I don't blow FOD back down the taxiway. All right, and set the brake. And run up on this guy is real easy. All right, no cast there. And do it manually. And there is no mag check on this aircraft as far as I know. Exercise the other side manually. And just check our backup. Looking good. And hold the button and let it go through its self-checks. Looking good. All right. So we'll put that on ECU A on both sides. And let's make this happen. All right, so flaps are set. And brakes can come off now. Clear. Make sure it's nothing coming. Looks clear. And I think I am using, let's see, what do I have? Let's see, I may have the Pilot Edge. No, I don't have Pilot Edge plug-in loaded. So yeah, so I should have, in that case, Traffic Global running. And yeah, there it is. I see something now. Yeah. All right. All right, nothing's coming. He's out there somewhere. All right, so let's get landing lights and strobe lights on. Let's get our VFR transponder set. And let's pick an airport to fly to. And we will fly to, here I am lined up, deciding what airport that I want to fly to. That's crazy, isn't it? All right, here's what it is, though. That's my favorite sin in cases like this. Looking for Sky Vector. Where are you, Sky Vector? And let's see. So we are here at Santa Ynez, and let's see. We'll fly to let's fly to Oxnard. All right, so we'll go down there and get some get some lunch. Oxnard, KOXR, is that Oxnard? Yep, Oxnard. And so if we fly, let's not do the Gavioli VOR, but let's do the Hawthorne VOR, which is Romeo Zulu Sierra. All right, and then pretty much a straight shot on V25. All right. So we got our plan. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right, I believe you can. All right, so let's get that out of the way, and let's put that in. Should have done this before I lined up, but don't see anybody behind me. So yeah, we're good. And so that was Romeo Zulu Sierra. Was it Romeo Zulu Sierra? I may have to refer back and look. Yeah, I'm gonna have to refer back and look. Yeah, Romeo Zulu Sierra. All right, enter that, and then Oxnard. Okay, Oscar, and I had no idea where I was going to fly to. We got fuel in the plane, and we got friends aboard, so we just kind of picked the destination. All right, so it's about 46, 47 nautical miles looks like from where we are. All right, so yeah, and one more thing that I'm gonna do is set an altitude, and we'll fly at 75. See, we are going east. East is odd, so we'll fly at 7,500 feet, and take a break off, and uncheck this, and let's make this happen. One has, whoops, I don't have pilot. Let's see, I tell you what, I'm trying to decide if I want to use, let's see, can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to what am I trying to decide? I was trying to decide if I want to, shucks, I lost that train of thought. All right, so let's just get out there. I was trying to decide if I want to put in the flight plan, but I don't think I am. Santa Inez traffic, Diamond 335 Lima Papa is taking off runway 26, and we'll be departing to the east, Santa Ynez. Let's see, actually we're going to be departing downwind to the east, so we're going to do a left downwind. All right. Is my brake on? Yep. right. Actually, we're going to depart into the south. The west coast just doesn't seem to be the way it's shaped. It's not uh, keeping up with directions is kind of tough for me. I don't know why. Cool. Glad you can hear me, guys. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Full power. Now, we are heavy, four passengers and a bunch of fuel. All right, the engine didn't sound that good. All right, rotate. Positive rate, tap the brake, gear up. All right, flaps up. Now, if we lose the engine at this point, we're gonna try to make it back to the airport on one engine. All right, so we'll pull the power back, get the um, get this guy out of the yellow with the power. Yeah, we want to keep the load out of the yellow here, and at the same time maintain our climb power. And let's start our turn to the south here. Figure out how to get rid of that. There we go. All right. So used to giving right rudder in a single engine that it feel kind of weird not to put in a bunch of right rudder to make that turn out. Alrighty. So let's go here to nav, turn our yaw damper on, and engage our autopilot. And let's turn our vertical speed on so that it would do our climb for us. VS, there it is, 1,400 feet a minute. Let's bring that down to 1,000. And let's see. Okay. So it should be picking up our magenta line. Let's see if we can't. One thing about glass cockpits is they can be really hard to. Okay, so we're going to the VOR that we're looking for. They can be really hard to click on and follow. All right. So 92 is the climb that we're looking for. So 1,000 feet a minute is giving us about what we want. We're climbing up 7,500, and we're on our way to Oxnard. Probably could have did a little bit better on our route out of Santa Ynez. Uh-oh. Either we got some winds. And my passengers are fellow flight enthusiasts, so they do not mind the wind. In fact, each one of them are fellow pilots. I am using XP Realistic. That's a good question. I don't know if I really put a profile in for this aircraft. But yeah, uh, yeah, I never really went in and tweaked the profile specifically for this aircraft. But yeah, that's why when I make these turns, I lean so much. All right. So one good thing about the diamond is the mixture is leaned automatically by the aircraft. Now, from what I understand, it's not a FADEX. Well, yes, this one is FADEC. Um, duh, 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 duh. Let's see. There was some aircraft that I was flying that that didn't have FADEC, and this might be it. Let's see. I don't see a FADEC test. Yeah, so I don't think this one is has a FADEC system to control a computer to control the mixture and all of that good stuff. It's just all mechanically linked, and how it determines the best lean for the system as the air gets thinner. I am not. Oh, it's diesel. Okay. Yeah, it's got a. I think it's got an Astra engine in it, which I have yet to do any research on. 500 feet to go, 400 feet to go till we reach our cruise. And so I am using some ortho. Let's take a look at the scenery here. Now, if you ask me, that does not look bad at all. Um, may not be as gorgeous as Microsoft Flight Sim, but from this perspective, I am loving it. So, you guys make me smarter because I had no idea that this is running diesel. Okay, so I've reached altitude. So I'm going to pull my power levers back a little bit. I got 80, 84, 83 on my loads right up in here, so I'm gonna be okay with that. And I want to make sure that I'm not in the red here on my RPMs. I'm actually in the yellow, ew, which is the caution area, so I'm gonna pull back until I get those just at the top of the green. All right, so that's probably better for my engines right there. And with any luck, I hold this cruise speed of about 140 knots. Yeah, the ortho does make it look better. This is zoom level 16, I think. 16 or 17. I usually use 18 and 19 at certain airports that I fly in and out of a lot, but I haven't been doing any I haven't been doing any real flights on the West Coast, so I really have not been using the 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 zoom level. I really have not set up any real zoom levels for airports on the West Coast. Let me plug in my headset, and that should make things a little easier for make me a little easier to hear. And yeah, yeah. So let's see. I think the fuses are modeled. on this guy. Let's see, is that me? What just flew by there? Let's see. Let me find myself on this PDF here. Let me pop it out and range. Okay, there I am. And now I can see how close I am to the VOR and start my leg to Oxnard. Um, so this aircraft is relatively fast. It's flying at 140 knots on average at 60% power load, and it does have two engines, but they are not torqued for a lot of speed. Um, yeah, and this is a trainer for twins for a lot of schools. So they some schools use the diamonds as a trainer. Um, for one thing, the diamonds are really easy to fly, so it's easier to get your to pass a check ride in a diamond than say something like a Piper, because you don't have quite as many systems. Yeah, AVL Asheville. I should. In fact, I have flown in and out of Asheville quite a few times. Um, yeah, and yeah, I will. I will, especially when I'm doing the piston power aircraft where I'm not getting up in the flight levels. Then flying through the mountains with ortho is just incredible. In fact, I'm waiting on some bush planes to become available because I love bush planes, and a lot of times I like going up into the Canadian and Alaskan backcountry, as well as some places out in Idaho. I think I got a lot of Idaho ortho installed, but kind of waiting on more opportunities to fly there with the correct aircraft. Right now, Roger, I have I have let's see. So I have um, basically, let's see. Let me do this. So I have these are basically the only XP-12 aircraft that I have installed in the system, and quite frankly, I've been trying to fly an XP-12 only XP compatible aircraft or XP native aircraft, even though a lot of my X-Plane 11 aircraft is flyable. The the power settings are not really optimized to give you the real world power experience. In some form or fashion, the flight models tend to be off. Um, I am in cruise, and I am going to take a bathroom break. The Viper jet, I really enjoy the Viper jet. You know, that's I've seen people fly that jet, and I don't know why, but I have been avoiding it. A single engine jet just seemed to be underwhelming to me, but yeah, um, Cirrus has done some an amazing thing with that jet. Give me just a minute, and I will be right back in a jiffy. I am back. So yeah, there's quite a few jets, not jets, but aircraft that's that's native to X-plane default aircraft that are pretty good. All right, so looks like getting close to Oxnard here, so I'm gonna descend down to 5,000 and let's see. So let's instrument panel look a little dark. Let's turn that up and let's set the altitude to 5,000, 50, well, 5,500. Actually, I don't have any obstacles, so I'm going to go on down to 3,500. Alrighty. So got that dialed in. Let's do vertical speed, and we'll do 1,000 feet. Actually, we'll do 700. Yeah, that's probably don't need 1,000. All right, I'm gonna pull back on the power. I could take the speed down, but I'm not. So, so the couple of times that I have flown Austin's aircraft, let's see, the Evo, the Evolution, it's been a blast to fly, especially with that overpowered turbine that he has in it. Uh, I've quickly learned that I really need to fly to really need to manage the power and not try to max the that thing out because it is powerful as all get up. And I have not flown the RV-10 yet, um, and that's interesting because it's an experimental, and I am a member of my EAA association for my area. I'm a member of EAA chapter 879, and I do the flight sim whenever we do a Young Eagles rally. I always bring in a a flight simulator to allow pilots, both pilots, and I'm gonna get down a little bit faster here to let both pilots and the kids fly the simulator. Let's see. So I think I changed that to 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 feet. And Oxnard is it in sight yet? Yep, there's Oxnard right there. So I should probably get. So I'm gonna take off the winds or something, or either that kind of remind me of X-plane 11, the way that just happened, and it wasn't the yo. Let's see. So I'm gonna kill my autopilot here, and it's my aircraft. Uh-oh, got some yellow here. What is their oil temperatures? Why is my oil temperature? See, I don't have cowl flaps or anything, do I? What's going on with my aircraft, guys? All right, my oil temperatures are coming back up. Wow, and it happened again. Um, Wonder what's going on here. Control, let's see, Control Shift M. That didn't do what I was hoping it was going to do. I was trying to turn the winds on so I could see what's going on. Yeah, that southern weather change. Let's see. I was trying to get, let's see, graphics data output, sound graphics data output, and I've seen a video where Austin turned on the winds so that you could see them, and he used to say that there was a keystroke that's built in, a hotkey that's built in, and I don't know what it is. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go there for right now, but it would have been interesting to see. Okay, so I'm a little bit high for downwind, so what I'm gonna do is do a 360 here to get down. Let's see, where's my airport? And I need to look over. Yep, so there's my airport. And I am gonna do a 360. Let's do a 360 around this cloud here. So I can turn off the flight director for the moment. And back in the caution on some temperatures. Okay, so it doesn't like me to pull back on the power too much. I guess the engine slows down so much so that it's not generating good heat. All right, so I'm supposed to be getting down, and I want to go around this cloud. I see the shadow that it's casting on the ground. That's pretty cool. A lot of stuff that has become native to Microsoft Flight Sim is just now making its way into X-Plane. They say um, they say competition is good for development, and I must agree because um, I'm not so sure that we would get as much out of this generation of X-Plane had it not been for Microsoft Flight Sim. And do you use the default X-Plane weather or do you have another weather engine? Right now, I am using the default X-Plane weather. I In X-Plane 12, I was using, I mean X-Plane 11, I was I was using Sky. What shucks? What was it? Sky something. But I was using a weather injector, real world weather injector, along with Sky Weather or something like that from X Aviation. And in this one, let's see, I'm looking for my airport now. And X-Plane 12, let's see, let me find my airport. I know it's along this, I think it's along this road here. Actually, I'm way off from it. In X-Plane 12, I am trying not to use the add-ons. Let me find the ocean and fly towards the ocean to get to figure out where I am and where I want to be in relationship to that airport. And in X-Plane 12, I have been trying to wait for X-Plane 12 add-ons or add-ons that are specific for X-Plane 12. That way, they my thoughts are that I can avoid add-ons and plugins causing crash to desktops and all kinds of nasty stuff that I don't want to have happen. Um, no, it wasn't Active Sky that I was using. Let's see, what was it? Let me, shucks, tell you, look it up here because it should be in my Explain 11 folder. Let's see, find those folders here. Explain 11, plugins, resources, plugins. It was, okay, headed out over the ocean. Let's see, why don't I see it? Just give me a second. I'm looking. Let's see. Why don't I see it in my Explain 11 plugin folder? Real weather connector and hmm, for some reason I'm not seeing the name of the actual. Well, I'll circle back to that in just a second. SkyMax. Thank you. That's what it was. SkyMax. Uh, I tell you, you guys do make me smarter. All right. And so, yeah. So I'm sure that X Enviro is probably trying to figure out how they can improve upon Explain 11's weather engine. All right. So I'm looking for my airport. I see it. Should be right here. So yeah, and I need to get down to 1,000 feet, I believe. I believe the airport is just above sea level. So let's start our trek down to 1,000, and I'm hand flying. Okay, I think that was my airport. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, there's my airport. So that's not bad. Entering on a 45. Actually, what I should do is look up the ATIS for the airport. Um, the frequency for ATIS for Oxnard is 118.05. Now, I'm used to being behind the aircraft, so this is nothing new for me. Um, and let me pop this out. 118.05. Let's see. Uh, get this up to 0. Should have went down. And COM2. Make sure I'm landing on the right runway here. And COM2, where are you?
15 Zulu, expect wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 15, 2.3. Altimeter 2, set. Arrive runway 25. Depart runway 25. Advise on initial contact.
299725. To pop this up. Do extended base here. All right, 2997. So, come on, barrel. Well, that's right. I can do it like this with this particular aircraft. Okay, so now I know where I'm at. I'm at 11,000. Let me turn back towards the airport, get rid of this guy. Where's my red dot? All right. So there's the airport over there. Looks like I'm on a base. So with 25 is my runway. So let's put that heading bug on 25. All right. I can't use that button because I'm using traffic global. Oxnard traffic, Diamond 335 Lima Papa is on left base for runway 25 full stop Oxnard. Okay, so yeah, um, a little late on making the calls. All right, and now we'll do a glance check. Gas, lights, never turn them off. Undercarriage, mixture, not applicable, and props, not applicable. All right. So we got approach flap set. Bring that power back, dropping at 15 feet a minute to intercept the glide slope here. All right, we're about a mile out,
500.
500 feet.
400.
All right, we got our glide slope, so we add a little power and drop in our final notch of flaps.
300.
Still a tad high, but that's okay. Got plenty of runway.
200.
200. I love those call outs.
100.
And 86 is the speed that I should be looking for. So I got a little slow there. All right, let's go ahead and pull that power out and flare. Acceptable. May not be the best, but I'll take it. All right. And we'll vacate to the right, to the left. I mean, I was absent the day they taught left and right. Okay. I'm one of those people that no matter how often I look to see what's on my left or right, I can't memorize it. I always have to work out what's on my left and right before before I actually know. All right, it is difficult to fly with XP realistic. Too much movement. It helps the realism. Yeah, it does. And I am so actually I fly with it so much that I've become fairly accustomed to it. But yeah, you're right. Um, that see how the aircraft when I make these turns, how the sometimes when I'm turning and the aircraft want to lean in and I can't see all my instruments and I have to use my hat button to adjust, and a lot of that is because of XP Realistic. So I know exactly what you mean. Oh, look at that mountain top over the horizon. That's pretty cool. I know exactly what you mean. So my crowd are happy that we got the Oxnard, but turn these strobe lights off and landing lights. But they really decided, well, we want to just keep flying. So we want another destination. I have track Aura that I bought, and I could never get mine to work correctly. For some reason, I would be the screen would just flip up. It would just lose. It just never worked correctly. And so I abandoned it. Actually, I thought it was a bad track aura, so I traded it out for another one. I bought it off Amazon, sent the first one back, got another one, and got the exact same behavior. So it's probably my calibration of the thing. But yeah, so I never really used my track aura. I also bought the Oculus Rift years ago, and especially using Helos. I also bought the Oculus Rift years ago, and I can't really use it because I get sick. It makes me air sick, motion sick. I get my stomach get all queasy and whatnot. So so I got these twos. In fact, I want to sell my Rift, and I actually intend to put it out on Craigslist for for about $100. Um, I'm hoping I can get $100 for it. Uh, I think the used ones, well, the Rift is so obsolete now. I may not even be able to get $100 for it. F-12 centers. Okay, I'm gonna have to experiment with that. I tell you, you guys make me smarter. All right, so what we'll do is we'll pull up here and stop. I never knew that. In fact, let's see. Um, track. All right. I don't think I even ever installed it for this airplane. I mean, for this version. Yeah, I'd have to play around with track IR since I've finally got a tip that might help me fly the thing because I fly with the thing because I would be flying and all of a sudden my view is upside down or something, and it just wasn't working out for me. But with your F-12 tip, then read the manual. Who reads manuals? Right? Uh, let's see. Brakes. Yeah. Let's see. What is it called? ROFL? No, ROFM. RTFM. Yep. Um, when I did a lot of tech support back in the day, then I would tell I would tell clients, there's a term in the industry that we use called RTFM. Well, some clients, those that would not that would know I'm talking in jest. And but yeah, a lot of times, I buy an aircraft and spend absolutely no time in the documentation, thinking that it ought to be intuitive, and some things are just not intuitive. Okay, so we're not going to shut down. We're actually going to find another airport to fly to. And let's see. So we'll do it this way. Um, get this up, get that guy. So right now we're at Oxnard. In fact, rather than use that guy, maybe we'll use this guy. Use a different two here. Okay. This is Navigraph charts unloaded, new flight, and this is where we are. We are at let's see, origin select and KOXR. I was hoping that would center the map, but it didn't. Okay, so let's get the map over to where I'm at. Now, see, take this tool here. Um, I've been using it, and it would probably be a lot easier to use if RTFM it. I use DCS as well. When someone's on your six, you must have a swivel on your neck. Track RR saved me many times, I can imagine. And DCS is yeah, that's over my head. I just I don't react that fast. So, you guys who fly helos and these military jets, my hat go off to you guys, because that's um that's some real work. So let's go at the Bakersfield. Depending on how far it is, I don't want to spend too much time on the sim. Um, Even though I don't have a lot of other stuff to do. Actually, Bakersfield, either let's try. You want to suggest an airport, Roger? You know how to use many of your apps. I kind of I kind of just feel my way through stuff. To be honest with you, I I should I should do better with actually learning how to use the apps. So Mojave, let's try Mojave. KMVH, right? I think that's Mojave. K K H K see KMVH. Is that Mojave? Nope. Mojave. Mojave. HV. There we go. Sound it out. All right, add to route. And 73 nautical miles over a Let's see, over how high is this mountain here? All right, 10,400 feet in this sector. So yeah, well that means that we have to get pretty high. Let's see if they can give us an auto route with let's see, we do the low airways because we are in a piston. Okay, so we'll fly to the FMI, the Fillmore VOR, and then direct to Mojave. Bakersfield is probably, where's Bakersfield in relationship? It's right on the edge of these mountains, I believe. Um, I don't normally use this tool, and I can see why because let's see. So these stars, are they the airports? Yeah, I think they are. Um, okay, Bakersfield is right here. This green guy um, would be Bakersfield, right? No, that's L73. Here's Bakersfield. All right. So so yeah, we just go to Mojave um, and select that. Now where am I? I'm glad you chose. I've flown so many times, so many flights that I couldn't honestly think of one. Yeah, I just picked something. I used to fly Pilot Edge a whole lot a couple years ago. In fact, every flight that I took was a Pilot Edge flight a couple years ago, and I became relatively proficient on managing the radios and flying and listening out for my call sign and that kind of stuff. And then I stopped using Pilot Edge and got really really rusty on the radio because I never really been a big VATSIM guy. In fact, I was doing a VATSIM flight the other day, and I was on the ground, and there was only center, and it just didn't feel right asking center for for ground instructions. Just didn't for me. That just didn't work that well. So so yeah, and yeah. Now VATSIM is incredible. It's so obvious. Let's see, VATSIM is incredible, but I just don't use it that much. All right, so yeah, so I'm stuck on this chart here. So yeah, so that's pretty simple in terms of flight plan. So we got Fillmore and then direct to Mojave. All right, so we can actually get rid of this guy and let's clear that. Okay, let's see. Let me pop this open here. And there was a way to clear flight plans. I don't recall what it was, but we'll just add to this one. Okay, flight plan. So we're at Oxnard, and the next place is Fillmore. If India Mike. Oh, yeah. It, it's obvious that That I'm rusty. Is that what is that the part that's obvious? Yeah, it's so obvious. I'm talking about you and the radio's menu. Yeah, you know, when I was using Flight Sim, I mean that's not Pilot Edge. I was using the I was using the steam gauges, and steam gauges are a lot easier to see. My thing with glass is in real life, it is the bomb. In real life, you got basically a 15-inch screen that's going to be constant. And I'm on a 32-inch monitor, and this screen here is probably about 15 inches that I got popped up in front of me. Maybe not, maybe 10 inches. Um, but the screen down here is what, 6 inches, and that just make it tough, in my opinion, to use glass. Know you use your radios often. In other words, you are proficient with radios. No, I'm not. I am rusty. But thank you. Um, in fact, that's why a lot of times you see me take flights, and I might do a radio call when I'm taking off, but you'll notice. See, I'm going to Mojave. Let me go back and change this to mic. You'll see me. Not even try to manage the radios. Emulate, assimilate managing the radios, unless see Mojave, the hotel, and then Victor. Um, Let me get Victor in here. Enter. All right, so got a flight plan in. Look like it's about 73, 74 miles, nautical miles. So yeah, you'll see me not. You see me make maybe one or two calls, and a lot of times you'll notice, if you really notice, I won't even bother to tune the radio when I'm using Traffic Global. I just, um, pretend the key to might make the call and not even be on frequency. So, so yeah, I am really rusty. So now that you forced me to say that out loud, that means you have forced me to have to work on it, which I would actually start up Pilot Edge right now since I do have a subscription and I am in the area. The only reason that I don't is because I don't have the plugin installed right now. And in order to do so, I would have to restart the sim. And yeah, you're right. You're right. The more you use ATC, the better you become at it, which is why uh, a year or so ago I felt like I could use I was comfortable, using the ATC was not even a second thought. And I took a flight or two. I've taken a flight or two with Pilot Edge um, since I renewed my subscription about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, I can talk on the radio and make those changes. I'm just not proficient at it. Um, if I'm not careful, I find myself behind the aircraft. Okay, so let's get our taxi lights on, which there are, and let's release our brake. And let's just treat this as a non-towered airport, which means that if I'm gonna talk, then I need to be on frequency. So I have to look up what the frequency is for Oxnard. Like anything, yep, the more you use, the better you become. Yep, you're right. That's all right. So where is my, let's see if I can bring up my, so I recently reinstalled um, OSB and none of my tools are installed. So the only thing that's working is the logo here and the screen. In real life, I was part of a crash crew. I was hesitant to talk on the radio. It felt strange. So I take it that you are really comfortable now talking on the radio. And but you're right. I just have to do it. And I become by doing it, I become more proficient at it. It's like anything else. The more you do something, the better you become at it. All right, so I had lost my sky vector. All right, got it back up. Airport diagram for Oxnard. All right, so tower is 134.95, ground is 121.9. Let me try to put this back where it's supposed to be. All right, and 121.9. 121. And let me pop this up so it's easier to see. There's I have to find that click spot. I have to remember it's right up in here to pop it up. All right, 121.9. If I go down, I can get there quicker. Pop that in. And what was that? 118.1? 118.0. I'm sorry, 134.95. 95. See, with my steam gauges, I could do this much quicker for whatever reason. 118, 134. Nah, my memory is just shot. All right, so got those programmed in. And now, a lot of times, I would do a flight and record it and then watch it back. And I go, how did I miss that? That was pretty obvious. And, I missed doing this and missed doing that. And some of the obvious stuff. Let's see, let's hear our ATIS. Um, but sometimes for, at least for me, when I'm in the flight, when I'm doing the flight, it's like I'm in the weeds and I can't see the big picture. Um, it's funny the way that works. But nevertheless, I love flying these things no matter what. Okay, so we wanted ATIS here. which is COM2. Did I change the frequency? I must have. ATIS is 118.05. So I just want my altimeter. Light and variable. Two 995. All right. Got Delta. I tell you what, I'm gonna pretend I'm talking to tower. Let's see. Oxnard. Oh, so used to pressing this button. Oxnard ground. Diamond 335 Lima Papa is at the FBO with Delta ready to taxi. Taxi to runway 25 via Alpha 335 Lima Papa. Okay, so I'm on the right frequency, so I know I talked to the right folks. Taxi light is on, clear, clear, and head out. Don't do it anymore. Would I do it now hesitantly? Yes. I'm sure. I'm sure that you would be. Would be. I'm sure talking to ATC for you would probably be like riding a bike, Roger. Even though you don't do it anymore. Now, do you do VATSIM? I know a lot of people don't do Pilot Edge because of the subscription fee. Okay, I'm on the yellow brick road. And the only reason I do Pilot Edge, is because I can look up at in advance what frequency I need to be on. Even a lot of times talking to center, I can see what frequency they're going to give me. So you don't do VATSIM, and I don't blame you. I'm going to start trying to do more VATSIM flights, but I don't do VATSIM. Like I said, I'm not a VATSIM person. All right, nothing's coming on final. All right, so let's flip this guy to, let's see, we got to flip him up first. Now we're on tower frequency. Oxnard Tower, Diamond 335 Lima Papa is at runway 25, ready to depart downwind to the west. Clear for takeoff, runway 25, 335 Lima Papa. All right, so they have cleared me. Yeah. I I am self-employed and single. My kid is grown, so and the only hobby that I have is flight sim. So I have put a lot of pennies into my rig, and and right now I am saving up to buy the 4090 Ti because I want to buy it the day it drops because they tend to run short on those graphic cards. All right, landing light and taxi light strobes are on. Taxi light can go off. Um, Flaps to to approach takeoff and full power. So yeah, the updated graphics card is my next purchase. And by being self-employed, sometimes I can get a feast, and when I get a feast, then that gives me the opportunity to go out and get some of the stuff that I want. But I also get into famine a lot. All right, positive rate, tap the brake, you're up, and flaps up. And I think Oxnard does a right downwind. Let's see. Nope. Yep. Let's see. Right pattern for, just say right pattern. Yeah. So I'm going to do a right downwind. Yeah, it is a right downwind. Everything is right pattern on this airport. 24 gigs of VRAM should get it done. Yep. Yep. Right now, I've got 12 gigs of VRAM on this rig. And let's see, I can share my frame rates. So I'm not doing too bad at the moment. I'm doing about 30 on the frame rate. But if I was at Charlotte, Atlanta, JFK, Dulles, or any of the big airports, I would be under 20. And that's another thing. Being under 20 on your frame rate would get you kicked off of VATSIM. And on Pilot Edge, I could be under 20 and it won't disconnect me from the network. All right, so bring that power back before I blow my engines. And let's climb up. Say we going west. West is even, otter. That's what I have to say out loud. I say to myself to remember which way. No, we're going east. East is odd. So yeah, we're going towards the Atlantic Ocean. So we want, and we had a sector that was over 10. So let's go up to 14. 14. See, east is even, east is odd. So let's make it 15. It's probably a lot higher than I need. But dial in 15. And me and my friends are just spending hundreds of dollars today just flying around. It's one thing about a sim. I can do that in a sim. Couldn't do it in real life. That's another reason why I gave up on getting a PPL. Um, you know, I don't think I would be able to fly very often enough to stay proficient or stay safe. Um, flying once or twice every 2 or 3 months can be real dangerous. Okay, so okay, Fillmore is my next place. So let's get in our yaw damper. Yaw damper is on. Flight director is on. Nav is set. And let's engage. All right. So I don't see alt select here. So that means that I'm not sure it's going to capture the 1500. Probably because I don't have vertical speed on. But what I want to do is climb out at about 92. Let me get my, um, let me get 80% roughly on the, well, on the load there. Okay. And point my nose up. 92 is what I should be looking at. So I'm pulling my nose up. And then we'll do alt hold. Ah, shucks. That was the wrong button. Take alt hold off and get back up to this guy. I say actually, I need to trim to get my vertical speed to reflect 92. See how, okay, now I got alt select is set my vertical speed for 1,000. That should give me roughly about 92. Set my altitude back to 15. 15.5. It's actually what I want because I am VFR. Still 1200 altitude reporting. And okay, Roger, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Take it easy yourself and really appreciate you. Thanks. And have a great rest of your day. So, so yeah. And let me zoom out. Range. That's what I want. Okay, so let me center up. There we go. And zoom in. And let me pop this out. So I'm on my way to Fillmore. And gears up. Flaps are up. Landing lights can go off. Vertical speed can come down a little bit. Let's change it to 800. The air gets thinner as we climb. So the prop become less efficient and we want to climb out roughly at about 92. So we're holding about 86. So let's go down to 600.
Attention all aircraft. Oxnard, altimeter 2, 9
You know, I didn't change the the altimeter, and that call out just made me remember to do so. Of course, if I was flying real life, it would be imperative for me to always use a checklist and double check behind myself. All right. All right. So we're watching the scenery roll by as we fly to Fillmore. Actually, we're over Fillmore right now, so we should start a turn. And we did. So the sometimes you can actually see those those stations below. I guess it's at the altitude that I'm climbing to. I can't really hope to see down there to actually see the VOR station, but I passed it at this point. But I have on occasion zoomed in and actually saw the VOR station as I flew over it. All right, get back in. So 10,000 feet check, and we keep our strobes on. Doesn't really have a beacon. And oxygen would become a concern. So actually, we are averaging 115, 114 knots, so we can actually increase our climb. go back to, let's see, what are we down in? We're back at 1,000 feet a minute. Got a quartering headwind, more of a crosswind actually. So that explains the crab that we have. And this is where our nose is actually pointed. Now this, let's see. Actually, you would think that if we crabbing, you would think, yeah. This is where our nose is actually pointed. What a crab angle we have here. And see, I'm down to 17 frames, and I don't understand why my frame rate take these nosedives. If I pop out of the aircraft, now I'm up to 25. So obvious, obviously it's drawing this cockpit that's eating up my frames. So if I take some of the cockpit out, so I can maintain 21 frames this way. But if I zoom down into my cockpit, then my frame rate, uh-oh, just lost my autopilot. I think I got too slow. And oxygen. Go ahead and pour that oxygen on. And hand fly it here. So now I'm doing 24 frames. Turn my yoke on. Oh, it is on. So I got a flight stick. Kind of wanted to. So I might be at the service ceiling for this aircraft. I was thinking that the service ceiling was much higher than, let's see, I probably need to look that up. All right, let's turn our autopilot back on. Autopilot is engaged. Bring that power back a little bit. Oxygen is on. And power back a little bit. Let's see what we are over the ground. We got a quarter headwind. Um, Not a quartering, a crosswind headwind. We're over the ground at 156 knots. And looks like it's going to get cloudy. All right. What's outside temperature is -9, and clouds are considered visible moisture. So we might pick up some ice. We are VFR, so we really do need to avoid clouds. Go ahead and try to get up to our altitude of 15.5. So we're back up to 28. And let's see what happens when we zoom out. Yeah, so I don't know what causes my frame rate to take these nosedives. Let's try panning. So I'm holding my 25. And 25 is not great, but it's livable. All right, got traffic. Let's see if I see traffic on they're within 10 miles. See if I see them on the MFD. And I don't map terrain system, so it don't look like I can even turn traffic on. Topo. Oh yeah, there's my traffic right here. So yeah, I am picking up traffic. Good deal. Good stuff. So let's take a look at some of this other traffic that we have. Now there are shortcuts to view traffic. So let's see. So this is a list of traffic that's, so this is the closest one. So control F1. Let's see what that shows us. Okay. Control F11. Control F7 to give me chase. So I'm just kind of experimenting here. Maybe I learned something. Control F6. So it looks like it's focusing on the closest traffic to me. I was just telling Roger that I don't tend to read manuals. I really should. Let's see. Auto select AI. And I don't know if that's there was something that showed kind of a slideshow where it would kind of show you different views. Um, AI to you camera. No, that didn't change anything. Let's turn that back off. And we'll turn Control F7. Kind of stuck. So something has happened where my control F keys are not changing anything. And what did I do? What did I do, guys? It's the cool part about being in cruise. You can get to play around with stuff, right? Flight schedule, radar. Okay, views. So AI chase camera, but nothing is changing. And don't seem, let's see now, if I hit AI chase camera here, control L7, then I get that, and then it, yeah, so let's see, so something is kind of messed up with the camera system in Traffic Global. Um, and yeah, something is definitely not right because I can't get out of this view. Control F2, let's see. Oh my God, I think I just crashed the desktop sim. Yep, just did a crash to desktop. Alrighty, guys. So unfortunately, I think that's going to do it for me today. Unfortunately, I didn't finish the stream up. I didn't land the aircraft at Mojave. Got to playing around and crashed to the desktop. And after sitting here for a couple hours flying around, then that's enough for me, at least for right now. So until next time, y'all come back now. You hear?